Hey family, peace and love. I want to go in real quick today. I got a little heat for this picture on Instagram. Not too much, but had some people that made some comments like, as of what's going on right now is nothing, and you know I'm very aware of the different dynamics of the things that are going on. There are some people who want to talk about this like it's only 5G. And I do understand their dynamic and the radiation and things that they're saying, the poisoning, which are all facts and can in some ways correlate. But what I will say is what they're calling this virus is not nothing. It's definitely something to be of some concern of, not necessarily fear mongering, you know, but to the point of protecting yourself and preemptive measures, especially if you have a family, if you have any type of position where people depend on you. So, you know, me being an officer out in our territory, I'm under certain Imperial orders. Uh, Besides the fact that, I'm speaking with other Moors that are in my cabinet that are experts in a sense of formally trained in some of these things, medicine, biochemistry, things of that sort that are, I would say, relevant in a way where their studies are already in this field even before these things started to transpire. So they're already well adept to what's going on and able to formulate better, I'm not going to say opinions, but conclusions, you know on what's going on with some of these things. And even these people are proclaimed more, so they're able to bring it into a national perspective, in the sense of what's going on and the dynamic of them trying to take away civil liberties, suspend constitutional rights, and things of that sort. So, you know, I'm not trying to downplay any aspect of, what's going on right now, but I want people to be cautious. You know, this definitely is, it's hard to classify what this is that they're calling a virus, because you could actually say, by some medical definitions, that what's going around is more of a fungus than a virus, due to a description of it not necessarily being a living organism. So, it not being able to be killed in the same way, but having more of a half life type of situation. And I hope I'm not saying that wrong. But, I definitely have people that I'm speaking with on a weekly basis about these things, as all the newest updates are coming up. So my best suggestion for people is to get your immunity systems up, protect yourself when you're out, because even though this may not be something that is necessarily as bad for us, there are more sickly groups of people out there, that their hygiene in general is not up to what we would even say as an African standard. So these people have been through, historically, bubonic and other plagues before, And, you know, this is not a very different dynamic from that, um, you know, from what I'm seeing at least, in the extent that, it's damaging certain groups of people, um, Europeans, Asians, and Eurasians, um, you know, in a much more strong manner. Like, I actually put on my Instagram, a map of the bubonic plague, showing that, this isn't the first time these people have been through something like this, you know, and, you know, just be careful out here, people, because this is definitely something that, you know, even though it's not as likely to affect healthier, um, more melanated peoples who are not at risk, it's not to say that it couldn't, that it's impossible for us to get these things or to come in contact with this stuff. And I want to definitely point out to people that in an instance of places like Iran and Japan that have so-called heavily hit COVID areas, but no 5G networks, you know. So, there's definitely a dynamic of something out here, that people are dealing with, and we definitely want to be safe, you know. So, keep all these things in mind. Just want y'all to consider that, when going about your daily life. And, if you can, quarantine as much as possible, stock up like the prophet said. And, you know, we're going to make it through this. We're not going to be the ones to be wiped out with their plans, as long as we're making our own preemptive steps and measurements. And, anybody interested in more of these type of things, strategies, what to do, you can definitely get at me. Walter Beta number 7 more at gmail.com. Peace and love, family.